to take a screenshot of this while I've got it full screen with your phone. And then Dr. Stedman is going to break us up into 5 groups. And groups, I didn't check to see how many people we had here, but we may have 4 to 5 people in your group. And these are different sections of the text, the chapter that you read. And so, what I would like for your group to do, if you're group one, then you're going to answer the questions highlighted in yellow. What framework do you use in your school for defining knowledge? And by framework, I mean, do you use Bloom's, Revised Bloom's, DOK, Hattie's work? What do you use to define knowledge in your school, and so on? So you see the questions that you're going to come back and want you to,
Dr. Revis should
before
something.
you leave your groups, I want you to choose a spokesperson and make sure you know what group you're in now. When you first log on, it will give you an invite and tell you which group you're in, so that when you come back, the spokesperson can share your thoughts. Now, if you have been a spokesperson before, we would like to hear from other people. So, any questions before
Dr.
we?
Revis, should they see anything? We can't see anything.
You cannot. Yes, hold on.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you. Let me. You should be. I'm so sorry. Okay, there's my share. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, let me make it bigger. Okay,
That's good.
thank you. I'm so sorry. If you could take a picture of that, screenshot it with your phone. And again, when Dr. Stedman puts you in groups,
Okay.
write down which group you're
Okay.
in.
Stop sharing, Doctor. Okay, I got it
Okay.
now. I can go
Everybody
ahead.
got it?
Wait, you said
Okay.
five groups, right?
5 groups. Yes, sir. You're going to have 8 minutes. And Dr. Stedman, I think Lamar has not gone into a group. I don't know what that's. You see him showing down there?
Okay. Lamar is driving. He's down. He's driving. He will be at home in just a few minutes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. He texted me.
It's gone off, so he must have gotten in
Okay.
his
Okay.
group.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Did you tell him how long?
I told him 8 minutes, and I've got a
Okay.
timer going.
Okay. Will you tell me when?
Where are we on time? We're good.
When you did this before, could you see the rooms the whole time, or did you X that out?
I don't think I saw the rooms. I came back and just you and I were talking.
Okay. So when the 8 minutes is up, when I hit breakout rooms, it'll bring this back up.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm actually going to tell you at 7 minutes, or with 1 minute to go, so they have time to cycle through.
Bless you. But anyway, okay. I know that was fast with the other, but I think it was just enough.
Right. They're not using that this semester, so yeah. How many were in class tonight? Did you see?
Um, I, I won't be able to know until they come back home.
Oh, that's right.
It was 25, 26. So
Okay.
it's the majority of our class. Now I have one that she said she couldn't get on last week. I sent her a message. I told her, I said, I don't understand, Maria. I said, yours, I mean, it's the same link as everybody else. And I clearly wrote it out in, what I sent you to send out to them. So I don't know what
Yeah.
else to do.
And you even put the capital J, the J at the
Right.
end is the
Uh,
capital. That's good
uh,
because you can't tell what it is. But I've got one that told me she was going to be out tonight. Nicole McCulloch. I don't remember why she's out, but
our,
on a she's out of town at a conference and they don't have good internet in the hotel.
okay. Remember the one I told you had not submitted their.
Mm-hmm.
She sent me two emails today and said that there's no way of submitting an assignment. I said, it's no different than anything you would have done for Dr. Revis. I said, and everybody else has done it but you in the class. So I told her, I said, the only thing I know to do, I says, is find somebody from your class that I can have to Zoom with you and walk you through it.
I think sometimes they forget where that assignment Dropbox is. I don't know. I don't know. I talked to Katie and she will pull hers up and she in fact did submit hers last night as a screenshot. So
Okay, so that's good. And I felt
mm,
like she would have.
yeah,
Uh, and I made up my mind. I'm as long as she does her stuff, I'm not going to be overly with it because
right.
she's got her hands full
Hmm.
and she knows what she's doing.
Right.
It's caught me off guard though,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
because you wouldn't have done that and I wouldn't have done that.
No, not in a million years. We've got about 2 more minutes before you need to call them back. I sure hope these questions are okay. I'm going to print it right now so I can go through the groups.
Okay.
Right before class, I could not find this slide for anything. Could not find it where I saved it. And finally, I pulled up my slide from last week and it came and closed it out and it was right there behind it. I don't worry then.
Well, I couldn't get into Gardner Webb today at work, and I had to completely close down everything, start all over again. And finally I was able to get in. It scared me to start with. I said, Lord knows. Okay, are we ready?
Uh, I got to read my, we got about 5 seconds. Yeah, you can go ahead and start shutting it down. They'll have a minute to get back. Okay.
Recorded. Oh, love you.
Are we all back in? I
Let
think
me
we are
see.
all back in.
Yeah, we've got 20. There's 20. That's about the same number, 27, counting you and me.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we're going to try to keep it to reporting out to 3 minutes, no more than 3 minutes. And that's with what you guys are going to talk about and any comments that we have. So let's start with group one. And it's what framework of knowledge do you use in your school? How do you use this framework? And how important is a discussion of this in your school? So who's the spokesperson for group one?
Me.
And Dr. Evans,
Okay.
we've got 10 minutes, so that should
Oh,
work out well.
okay. Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead, Mariana.
in group one, we spoke about STEM because we have a STEM teacher in group one, and her framework was using the big idea and using PBL lessons instead of just doing procedural skills. So these lessons were centered around inquiry and defining real world problems so the kids could have conversations about what is being taught and they can connect to it better. Some people spoke about DOK levels 1, 2, and 3 to prepare the kids for tests, which are aligned to standards. And
Mm-hmm.
also Bloom's came up, which includes the verbs and the words that helps to build knowledge instead of just having them to use multiple choice and choose an answer. So it makes them think more. And also for my school, we use school nets weekly, and each child has a magic number based on their level of growth. And each week we have to meet to decide how the kids are growing and if they're not growing, what we could do to make it better. And it does help me as a reading teacher because every child's number is not the same. And that shocked me. So I had kids that were making 90s and sometimes they made 80s and it became red because it was expecting them to make more. While I have other kids that might make a 50 turn green because based on where they were coming from. So that gave me a chance to reflect, to know that growth is not just always making A's and B's, but based on where you are and the growth
Mm-hmm.
that you're making.
So did you talk about how important it is to have a discussion about how we define knowledge in our school, whether it's DOK, Revised Blooms, whatever?
Yes, we did, but most of my teachers did not. They're saying that they were not a part of that discussion.
Okay.
I'm
All
a part of that discussion, but it's mostly content based.
Okay.
but it's still important in the sense of we have to know where we are to know what we need to work on.
And I've told you this before. I challenge you as you're doing your walkthroughs at some point as an administrator to look at the assignments the students are doing and see if you and maybe your administrator or assistant principal or even your instructional coach, see if the three of you can determine what level of knowledge students are using when they do a specific assignment. And a lot of times we're coming in at the low levels, but okay, thank you. Let's move on to group 2, unpacking standards. Who's the spokesperson for group 2?
I am. We had kind of a mixed review for it. Some people have to do it for each lesson. Other people do it at teams or PLC meetings, and some have the district have already unpacked it. I know
Mm-hmm.
for my school is as a reading coach, we would do it quarterly on their planning days, where we do our priority standards, but the team
Mm-hmm.
is responsible for doing it during their planning on a weekly basis for math or reading. And even with the priority standards, we then go to progressions of mastery, so they have exemplar, so they'll know what that looks like and sounds like from the student's perspective.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah, it depends on the school district. Sometimes the school district will do it at the district level, and most districts, I think, would probably do that if you have a medium-sized to large district who have the staff and personnel to do that. Other times, you're left to do it at your school, and so you just can't tell teachers to unpack the standards and think they can do that. They have to have some training and collaboration, right, Gwanata? Thank you so much. All right, group 3, tell us your name. I had to find Gwen talking here, so tell me your name so I can find you.
Melissa, we did group 3. Ours were looking at the student learning rules, and we kind of discussed that rules 4 through 7 were kind of where a lot of our staff was living, because that's kind of being done within our inquiry cycles through our PLCs. And we also talked about kind of where we would like our teachers to go, would to really move to that Rule 10 where we're looking at that research. A lot of times now, we're given the research or it's come from like the instructional team, but to really kind of get teachers to that level where they can kind of do that on their own.
Okay, awesome. A lot of different rules there. It's hard to pick one, isn't it? Because so many of the rules, we need to be thinking about all of them or a lot of them, most of them, when we're looking at measuring student learning. And then group 4 is going to talk about the tools, the measurement tools. Who's our spokesperson for group 4? Thank you, Melissa.
Hi, it's me. So we had
Okay.
to look at tools we found useful and what kind of new tools we're going to use or recommend. And our group kind of mentioned how important just the informal assessment piece is. So using those exit tickets, my groups use Kahoot, just doing those things on a regular basis. So you have that quick check-in so you can know what they know and where to go from that. And our new tool we're going to check out was shared to us by Kara. She does pivot tables. So it organizes all your data. You can quickly look at it. It tells you, where you have achieved it. It can tally things. It was really, really great. So just moving forward with that would be a cool tool.
Okay. Thank you. And group 5 is going to bring us home about choosing the appropriate assessments. Group 5?
Okay, so hi, it's Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer,
Um,
thank you.
we talked about appropriate assessments and first identifying what you want your students to learn and then moving towards how you're going to assess them. And we had some really good conversations in that as educators, we like to choose our own assessments. And specifically, we go through those unpacking documents. We're looking at the examples the state gives us. We can reword those exemplars that they give us and teach to the standard. Also, we stated that we want to make sure as a school we're using a variety of assessments because a lot of times our assessments are geared towards state testing and benchmarks. But we also talked about how important it is to make sure we're doing those constructed responses and digging deeper with our assessments. We wouldn't use all assessments for every grade level, specifically in elementary school. If you've got kindergarten versus fifth grade, that's going to look a lot different. But making sure that as a grade level, you're consistent with your assessments, formative and summative assessments, and that you're all on the same page and you're doing like assessments so that you can compare that data.
Mm. How many of you with a thumbs up do common assessments as a group? If your school does that, give me a thumbs up. Okay. It's a lot of work, isn't it?
Mhm.
But like Jennifer just said, then if you do that, then not only are you kind of sharing the load and building the assessments that you want to use, and I love the way this group said they started with the standards first before they decided on the assessments. But I just think that it's always a great idea to vary those assessments and to understand, you know, we're trying to assess this standard, what assessment aligns to that, and collaboratively build those assessments. And guess what? Then we can share our results. Now, you have to have a PLC who feels comfortable doing that. And that is through a lot of work together and a lot of trust building. And next semester, one of the things you're going to do is you're going to facilitate a PLC around some of the strategies that you're going to recommend. And so what you're doing this semester just kind of flows into that, and you'll be doing many of the things in this book we will come back to in next semester. So it's not just you're doing this over a one shot. You're going to build on what you're doing here, and you're going to cycle back to it. All right. Thank you guys for sharing. I appreciate that. And Dr. Stedman, how are we on
Let's
time?
let's end and then come back in, okay?
Okay.
Good. Let's just end and come back in. Everybody,
All
let's
right.
end and come back in, okay?